Sensitization and advocacy activity floods most Cameroonian towns and cities and the world at large as the globe celebrates World AIDS Day this Friday, 1st December 2023. 35 years down memory lane, what has been some of the successes and hold up towards the fight against HIV and AIDS. High Prime newscast for today attempts for some answers. And the Northwest Governor, Lily Lafrique Adolphe, chairs Security and Administrative Coordination meeting in Santa as crucial security points were being highlighted as the governor reaffirms a smooth end-of-year celebrations to all in the Northwest region. Those were our major stories. Good evening to you all. You are welcome to High Prime for Friday, the 1st of December 2023. We start off with one of our lead stories. Cameroon has joined the world over to celebrate the 35th edition of the World AIDS Day today on the theme, Let's Community Lead in Buea. Activities that took place in the city of Buea unfolded hitch-free at the Bongo Square Ceremonial Grandstand, where Governor Bernard Okalabilai was represented by the Director of Social, Economic and Cultural Affairs at the Governor's Office, Bembe Vanessa, as Rita Mafani recounts.
The 36th edition of World AIDS Day has been celebrated across the nation. Activities to commemorate the Cameroonian month for the fight against AIDS has taken place at the Independence Square, Buea, as the population of Buea, health officials, various institutions come together to mark these under the theme, Let Communities Lead. Chaired by the governor's representative Bembe Vanessa, she calls on communities for the fight against stigma and discrimination.
Now we have been involving them, but want to involve them now in another level, meaning we have put them together, our pastors, our religious leaders, our traditional leaders, our local community organizations to work together in the fight against HIV. How are we doing that? We are organizing conferences with other partners, both technical and financial partners, to tell them that they are the ones in charge. We want them to go ahead of us. We have been leading, but let the communities now lead.
With a high prevalence rate in Africa, the need for frequent checkups is continually echoed. Activities such as match pairs, sketches, educating the population on the need for frequent checks and the role of community leaders, as well as a mobile van for free testing, were all part of the sensitization activities marking the day.
Activities marking the decade of volunteering at the level of Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education. Calendar shows that today we were supposed to carry out a sensitization campaign that brings together all stakeholders. And we are partnering with the Ministry of Public Health, we partner with World Health Organization and other civil society organizations that are working in the domain of volunteerism. This morning we started, as part of activities, we started at the OIC market, mobilized volunteers and the youth organizations, and at the same time we carried out sensitization campaign to make the public become aware of the dangers of HIV and AIDS and how to go about it.
With over 35 million people suffering from HIV and AIDS recorded in 2022, therefore, everyone is called upon to join communities in fighting for a society free from stigma and discrimination.
We remain with you, Rita Mafani Mujoko. This time around, women from all walks of life in Fakulty Division met in the town of Limbe to add their voices to condemn against violence perpetrated on women and girls, predominantly by men, our lovers, our partners of the said women. This is coming into place after the world is celebrating the 16 days of activism to end gender-based violence, as Rita now recounts.
These are women drawn from different walks of life in Fakou Division, Southwest Region, Cameroon, who came out in numbers to celebrate the advent of the 16 days of activism to end gender-based violence, where women and girls are predominantly the victims.
Hand in Hand Cameroon, we are here to say stop to gender-based violence. One of the cases that has really marked our activities here in the Southwest Region is the case of a 16-year-old child who has been violated by the caregiver, who is the uncle, for a period of 2 years since she was 14. That case really touched me so much because you can imagine this child going through violence throughout this period of time, and she could not speak up because she was given life threats. She was like being asked to stay quiet and not say a word because she might tarnish the reputation of the family or that of the perpetrator. The key word here is speak out, because silence is violence. Because she spoke out, and as a platform, we unanimously came to see into this matter.
According to the Ministry of Women's Empowerment and the Promotion of the Family, some 59 women and girls have been killed by men. A high percentage of these was carried out by intimate partners, something high-rank police officials say it is quite rampant in the Northwest and Southwest regions.
We are here to make the population to know that we are there with them, to see how we can fight against this gender-based violence, because in our zone here, Northwest and Southwest, there are so many women and girl child who are suffering from this event. So if there's anything that we have to intervene, we are there to give the support.
The awareness walk of sensitization and advocacy act that was seen on the streets of Limbe equally saw men who turn out to encourage victims of such acts to speak out when violated.
So for the next few days that we have to commemorate these 16 days of activism, one important thing that we'll be doing throughout these 16 days would be sensitization. As you see, we already finished with the advocacy walk today. We'll be going to different communities, because most often we feel that when we talk about gender-based violence, it's far from us. It's happening only at the level of the villages. But here in the cities, we have countless number of children and women who are being violated. And because women have been told to be silent about all of this, and they are trying to do some arrangements, local arrangements, to make sure that these people who are violated, they don't come out to talk about it. So they stay at their corner. So we are doing this to let them know that there are a group of people who are ready to stand with them.
With the increase of femicide in Cameroon, some of the participants say this year's theme for the elimination of violence against women and girls, invest to prevent violence against women and girls, is quite timely.
We are all gathered here to make sure that we create awareness against gender-based violence. We know that in Limbe there have been a high increase recently in gender-based violence, especially with the ongoing crisis that is ravaging our communities. So we have a lot of cases. That is why we have come out in our numbers, so that we can create awareness and we make the people understand that any form of gender-based violence that is perpetrated is a criminal act. And with the Justice Department, we make sure that all perpetrators, they don't go unpunished.
Stay quiet. We shouldn't hide because of intimidation. We keep quiet. It doesn't mean men are not also being violated. Yes, they are, but remember, silence is violence, and the key word is stop rape, stop violence against women and girls.
As this sensitization act sees it down in Limbe, the different actors vow to stress on the fight against these malicious acts on women, as all have been called upon to join the orange fight in Cameroon and beyond.
An advocacy and sensitization campaign for the 16 days of activism to end gender-based violence perpetrated on women and girls has taken place in the town of Tiko in southwest Cameroon. The outing under the Tiko Gender Platform is one that wants to end the dynamics of this nefarious act that is fast rising in Cameroon. Once more with you, Rita Mavani Mujoko.
Women, girls and men in Tiko are all out on the streets to sensitize the entire population for the end of violence against women and girls. This move is championed by the movement of the Tiko Gender-Based Violence Platform, and it is in line with the 16 days of activism to end violence against women and girls.
This program today is the launch of 16 days activism to fight against gender-based violence. So this day today is just a launch. We have a whole program that will be going to churches, to school, from primary to university. We'll go and pass the message.
The different participants will express enough is enough on violence against women and girls.
Because we want to end the year, this year message is let's stop against women and girls. Let's stop violating the right of women and girls. So we want to stop this because women are suffering. If you remember last week, we have one woman that died because of this maltreatment. She was suffering from physical violence. So we are just passing the message across that stop gender-based violence. Wherever you are, you have to be an ambassador.
With this awareness creation campaign, the women on their part call on peers to speak up as life has no duplicates.
Let's stand up. It's a voluntary work, but it's our work. Because if we don't do it, the more we create awareness, the more this message will go far. And let's all of us continue this fight. This 16 days, after every 16 days, we'll continue. It's not just the 16 days, just for the awareness.
Taking into cognizance the high rate of femicide that reigns in Cameroon, the different women activists want this terrible phenomenon to come to an end.
The Faculty of Engineering and Technology of the University of Buea has organized an open industrial day to showcase the different products in which the said Faculty of Engineering and Technology does. This took place on the campus C of the University of Buea, as Daniel Ikomimboa tells us more.
The Faculty of Engineering and Technology at the University of Buea has organized an open day/industrial forum to showcase the various services they offer. Taking place this Thursday, November 30th, 2023 at the Campus B, was presided over by the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ngomos Horace Manga, who highlighted the importance of such events.
As the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Buea, I have had occasion previously to see the innovative products from these two establishments. One is the College of Technology and the other is the Faculty of Engineering and Technology. I think this open day is important because students from high school, those from our partners from industry and the Buea community has the opportunity to really bear witness to the products of innovation that come from both establishments.
Taking place under the theme Time for Feedback and Employability, Training Approaches and Expected Skills, saw the students exhibiting the various projects carried so far.
The university is creating an incubation center, and that will help to make sure that these projects not only end in our labs or in our practical workshops, but that will now go out to be applied, that can be used by the local community. Because most of those projects is giving solutions to some local needs that we need, that the people need. So we think that with this incubation center, we're going to continue the process to develop those projects to finish projects.
With such projects, it will go a long way to help the community.
Somebody observed, and it's our observation, that our students live and they take their objects of creativity to the larger society, put them into some marketable products and market that to the public, which is what we want them to do. Job creators and innovators, and to continue this while they are out there.
13 years of existence, the faculty is proud to have engineers who are making waves within the country and beyond.
I cannot describe it enough. I think when you talk of industrialization in the country, the Faculty of Engineering and Technology and the College of Technology have come to position themselves as producers of engineers who do very, very well in the field. And when we talk of employability, they present the best examples that I know of.
Visiting the various stands was a moment for the Vice-Chancellor and his delegations to witness what the different departments has been able to produce for these 13 years of existence.
You are watching High Prime, and we are coming to you live from our main studio here in High Television. We now take you to news from the Northwest region of Cameroon. The governor of the Northwest region, Adolphe Lafrique, has chaired a security and administrative coordination meeting in Santa in the presence of high-ranking security and defense officials as he reassures the population of a smooth end-of-year functioning of festivities in the entire Northwest region. More with our reporter from Bamenda. The Northwest Regional Administrative Coordination and Security Meeting in the region is on course with the different regional heads and heads of service unfolding in the Santa locality, with the key resolution being a smooth end-of-year festivity across the 7 divisions that constitute the Northwest region.
Come up with a security device that will permit us to ease the circulation of people and their goods in the region during that particular period by shunning out of our main road those that are still there collecting money from the population. We are going to target them to prevent them from disturbing public tranquility and free circulation on our major roads.
The chair of the ceremony, Governor Adolphe Lily Lafrique, insisted on no stone will be left unturned to non-state armed gangsters.
Are concerned. A security device has been produced to reinforce security in our major cities. Mkambe, Wum, Kumbo, and the headquarters of the region, Bamenda, where we were witness to an attempt against the security by a terrorist group that last week targeted innocent population. So the investigations are going on to trace the author of that incident to sanction them in keeping of the laws and regulations of the Republic.
With the key reports coming from the different regiments of the forces of law and order, the #1 personality of the Northwest region affirms all on absolute security and safety while calling on them to be collaborative with the forces of law and order so as to bring an end to the insecurity that reigns in this part of Cameroon.
For seizing the opportunity you have given me to appeal the population to continue giving their support and collaboration to the administration, the force of security and order to trace and sanction those devil spirits who are trying to take hostage our region. They have failed yesterday. They are failing today, they will fail tomorrow.
With the timeliness of such a top-notch security meeting in the Northwest region, the population have therefore been called upon to enjoy festivity while being encouraged to be on the lookout of non-state armed groups who will cause chaos in this part of the country. We remain in the Northwest region where the Northwest Livestock Development Fund, CDNAO, has dealt out chickens, piglets and feeds to over 500 farmers in the Northwest region. The farmers are coming from the 7 divisions that constitutes the region. This is to the tune of 50 million CFA francs and is geared towards the evaluation or alleviation of poverty and unemployment in that part of Cameroon, courtesy of our Bamenda-based reporter. It is a busy day for the director and staff of the Northwest Livestock Development Fund, CDNAO, as they are donating piglets, chicks and feeds to farmers in this sector across the 7 divisions that constitute the Northwest region.
This is the second edition of a project conceived by board members of CDNAO that we should assist farmers, especially towards end of year activities. So it's an operation that I can even call a fowl per household to help farmers end the year successfully. So today we are giving out 42,000 day-old chicks. We have an estimate of 500 farmers, both groups and individuals.
The donation exercise that unfolded under the watchful eyes of Governor Lily Lafrique Adolphe, who is quite appreciative to government for such a laudable initiative for poverty alleviation and unemployment in this part of the country.
First of all, to thank the governor of Cameroon, whom CDNAO is giving lofty assistance to the rural people by supplying them today with more than 42 huge support in this particular context, where some of our rural population do not have means to start a business. CDNAO is therefore coming to change the game at the realm of those suffering masses by supplying them with tools that will permit them not only to fight again in food insecurity in the region and elsewhere, but also to give job opportunity to the rural masses.
With the second edition of this gesture, the director of Sedinor elucidates on the evaluation and visibility works carried out prior to these donations.
We have done some evaluation of the last edition, which has proven that many of those who received the day-old chicks last year, they really empowered them, because in course of the year, the demand was so high. It means some of them who hadn't the habit of keeping day-old chicks from last year, they have gone far in that process, just from the 100 day-old chicks at the back of feed that we gave them last year.
The beneficiaries who were quite gladdened with this remarkable gesture from Sedinor, just like Oliver Twist, are equally pleading for more.
The fowl will take me somewhere that I did not know that I can reach the place. So I'm happy with Sedinor, as they have produced me these things to go and take care of my family. A bag of it can take me at least 2 weeks.
So I want to thank God for this Sedinor that has given me these chicks. I've received chicks and I'm so overwhelmed, because I know this is a startup business and I know through this I'm going to go to higher heights.
With 42,000 day-old chicks, 25 tons of feed and 100 piglets given to 500 farmers in both groups and individual levels, the regional developmental outlet remains focused in ending poverty and unemployment across the Northwest region. The Cameroonian fishery industry in the Semak-Sop region stands tall. This is according to economists who says the intricacies regarding the fishery industry in Cameroon is one that has made the country's fishery industry to stand tall among our peers in the Central African sub-region and parts of the West African sub-region. In the paper that follows, Cynthia Latte has more on what is the reason for the resumption of fishery products in the country.
According to a recent report from the Ministry of the Economy, Cameroon's 2022 fish imports stood at 241,798 tons. This represents an increase of 27.3% compared to the previous year, when they summed up to 190,000 tons. This import was in a bid to satisfy home production deficit, as the country produced only 233,100 tons in 2022 compared to 223,400 tons in the previous year. With the quantities produced and combined, Cameroon had 474,100 tons of fish in 2022. This allowed the country to satisfy part of the demand estimated at 500,000 tons per year. The same report revealed that the government is working to raise the level of production in the fish industry with measures including carrying out better control of the maritime coast, continuing the fight against illegal fishing, and the development of commercial aquaculture, amongst many others. The Bank of the Central African States (BEAC) projects an increase in fish production in the country for this end of year, favored by the drying up of rivers under the effects of drought.
With that story from Cynthia Latte, this is where we close this edition of High Prime for Friday, the 1st of December 2023. Happy New Month to you all, and good night from this end.